to get this show started, remember moderators know the lock in, okay? If anybody asks you what you're doing up over here, around here, down here, oh, that's too early. If you new over here, you have to hit the subscribe button. I'm supposed to say that first, okay? And if anybody asks you what you're doing over here, around here, down here, please let them know, okay? I bet you might have been into the K-pop, and everything's allegedly. Even my name's allegedly. And y'all better be hitting the wine glass early in the day. I know some of y'all still at work. I'm sorry, y'all. I am trying to balance work life, family life, okay? Work life, family life. So right now, my nanny has the kids at the park. So we got an hour and a half to get through this show, okay? Before them kids come through that damn door, all right? So listen, we are on vacation for spring break in Mexico City. Contrary to the lies that are being put out there that Mexico is dangerous, it is not. I stay in and out of Mexico all the time on my off days, okay? So the cartel do cartel business. If you ain't doing business with a cartel, you ain't got nothing to worry about. That is it. That is all. And I don't do business with a cartel. People that I know do business with a cartel, and they bring me that business. Now, full show for you guys today, all right? Definitely today is the day. Tonight is the night. And at 6 p.m. Your time, I believe, because I'm on Mountain Time right now in Mexico City, Simon implodes on Porsha Williams. When I tell you I was just choked the entire interview. You know, I wouldn't lie to y'all. When I tell y'all something good, when I tell y'all something is that good, I usually tell y'all something is that good. Otherwise, I'll be like, just go watch this interview. Just go watch it. But this here, I said, man, if I was Porsha, I would sue him for what he said is saying about her in this exclusive interview that we've done, which is part one. Part two, we're going to record probably next week sometime. But trust me, you got an hour and 45 minutes of meat and potatoes and a lot of wine. Get your liquor for this, okay? That's going to exclusively premiere tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TashaKLive.com. We definitely going to be talking about the story that I broke, that a lot of people said I lied about. Pooh Shiesty going right back to jail for, and I still have to say allegedly, even though he's been indicted on what we told y'all back in January, hell, December, that he had got out of jail, left the halfway house, and went down there and robbed Gucci Mane. Okay? And y'all was like, well, how you know? How you know? Because somebody called me from the damn site. That's how I know. We definitely going to be discussing that. I got the full indictment ready to read it here for y'all. So we got a lot of stuff we're going to go over. Definitely going to be discussing Sierra Glam Shop and her 1900 divorce, okay? Yeah, we're going to be discussing that and much, much more. We got a lot of stuff we're discussing today, okay? But that's just the meat and potatoes of it. And of course, we got some filler sites. Don't forget, guys, we are back on our Q&A, so we'll take like 2 questions, preferably on relationship, life, and business. Email me right now to unWineWithTashaK@gmail.com, and your question will be read later on in the show. But in the meantime, while we're waiting on everybody to get on up in here, we got some sponsors we need to brag about, which means boldly raise a glass to. We'll be right back after the break. Let's go.
Is the number one reason Americans file for bankruptcy, and soon they're going to be reporting on your credit. And usually the medical debt is not your fault. If medical bills are overwhelming you, bankruptcy can stop the collection calls and get rid of the medical debt and allow you to focus on healing instead of worrying about being sued over medical debt. I'm Chad Van Horn, and if you're buried in medical debt, give me a call today and let's find a way out.
We don't get enough liquid D3. We don't get enough vitamin D. And so I personally have to supplement this particular vitamin D that I travel with all the time, and I make sure that I never run out of, is 10,000 IUs, gluten-free, vegetarian, as a vitamin E and vitamin C base, okay? And so it's very highly absorbable. There are some fantastic reviews on shoptkdeals.com of women who claim that they couldn't even lift their arms. And by taking vitamin D3, which helps your body to absorb calcium, and the calcium feeds the bones, they can now raise their arms, they're less pain and things like that.
You want another spoon?
I do.
Kim is the best lover I ever had.
No man is going to marry you because they're never going to think that they're better than Cam. They'll you but they won't marry you just because you made that statement.
And what you don't have is a good nigga, because the shit that comes out of your mouth is wild. I can't even believe you're a wife. So how dare you?
A normal, healthy-minded, with great self-esteem 40-year-old woman wouldn't have allowed Cam to play with her the way that him and his boys play with you, like you were a dumb bird who didn't understand money or anything like that. He complimented you in the process to gaslight you, but he let his friends who knew you play with you. Where you going? Where's she going? Why she can't see him on her side, Jasmine? Why she can't see him on her side? Where'd you go?
Girl, let me tell you something. Let me tell you the difference between me and when people are gonna step into my platforms. All right?
Okay, all right, cool. I'm listening. All right, guys. So due to this weather change out here, it's cold one day, hot the next. People coughing and hacking all on the plane. My ass started to get a little sniffle. And so for that, I've been taking 5 drops of oregano oil daily, and it hasn't moved past my nose at all. Okay, I'm not tired. I'm not weak. Anytime I get I have first symptoms of anything I come in contact with. That's why I ain't been calling out. I take my oregano oil. As you can see, this bottle like halfway done. I don't be playing when it comes to this, okay? I think there's like 80 bottles left of oil of oregano. It kills viruses, bacteria, and all that stuff on site. On site, okay? So it's in my wine glass today. All right, so real quick, last show, when I was talking about metabolic issues, and I had shared with y'all some very personal issues about me and my family member, and specifically I'm talking about my aunt who had died a very tragic, slow death, unfortunately. And I was educating you on a lot of stuff that I personally know because I do study this. It is like my hobby, which is to read medical texts. It may be boring to y'all, but it is really my hobby. I really stay up in them research, them clinical plans and everything like that, whatever you call it, okay? I am reading medical text, medical data on new and improving things, especially when it comes to health and wellness. And so there was a lot of people in my comments that said I was lying. That's saying that, what did they say? A plant-based diet, Tasha, feeds sugar. It doesn't have protein. It's full of sugar. And I'm like, that's not true. That's not true. Now, if we're talking about fruit, yes, fruit and some carbohydrate vegetables have a lot of sugar. Yes, they convert, they feed sugar, they feed cancer cells. But I'm talking about plants, greens, peppers, okay, onions, radishes, celery. I'm talking about plants that are not sweet. The plants that actually have protein in them. And then you have your meat, not red meat, not pork, not fried. I specifically go for fish as my protein source. Okay, poultry as my protein source, not fried, but air fried or maybe baked. But there's a doctor I've been following for quite some time, and he did an interview with Diary of a CEO, Dr. Thomas Seyfried, okay? I don't know why his last name is Fried. He gets eating fried food. But since y'all don't want to believe me, I'll just start sharing with y'all a lot of the stuff that I personally watch and do research on after they're done talking, and how he's specifically talking about a diet, a ketosis diet, which is a keto diet, all right, and water fasting helps to disintegrate cancer cells. You don't want to hear from me? Hear it from the doctor. Like to hear, here you go. Then we'll get into our celebrity gossip. Let's go.
Very preventable. It's just that we're doing everything we possibly can to induce it. We published one of the first ever papers linking that the higher your blood sugar, the faster the tumor grows. The lower the blood sugar, the slower the tumor grows. Undeniable. From a normal cell to a cancer cell doesn't happen overnight. All we have to know with cancer is, how are they growing so rapidly? Why are they going out of control? How come it's so hard to kill them? A solution to the cancer problem without toxicity is to simultaneously restrict the two fuels, glucose, which is already in our bloodstream from the food we we eat. And the amino acid glutamine, if we stopped eating and we took a low carbohydrate diet and just did water only fasting, we would get into nutritional ketosis. The tumor cells have a bad mitochondria. They're dependent on glucose and glutamine. We can replace glucose and glutamine with ketone bodies. So we selectively marginalize these tumor cells slowly over time. They slowly start to die, the blood vessels disappear, and the body comes in and dissolves.
Dissolves the cancer cell, you pee it out. Now, I ain't trying to use too much of Diary of a CEO's content because I don't want him striking me, but we are allowed legally to use a specific soundbite for a certain number of seconds. You're going to learn all this when we have our courses that we're going to be offering here soon in the next couple of weeks to teach you how to monetize yourself on social media and get a lot of money. But did I lie? Because there was a lot of people in those comments was telling me I didn't know what I was talking about when I was telling you, and that's why we do water fast once a year for 14 days. We do keto diets. We do all of that. The same stuff that I do personally, I share it with y'all, but y'all just think I just be making it up. Like I'm around here like telling y'all to subscribe to get this information. I'm not, but I'm gonna start putting it right here because y'all pissed me off in that last live when I decided to share something with y'all that was very near and dear to me and that affected me, and that was the reason why I chose to do more research on it, okay? And then a lot of y'all said that what RFK Jr. was doing to make hospitals feed y'all better when y'all in the hospital instead of you having diabetes and then they're giving you a plate full of loaded sugar. You're not supposed to have sugar or carbohydrates or certain meats like red meat when you have metabolic syndrome, which is diabetes or high blood sugar level. That's a whole nother topic, okay? I just wanted to set the record straight on that. Thank you so much, Dr. Say Friday. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming on through here, okay? Now, moving on. Who's next? Oh, so I'm inclined to believe this rumor, even though it's alleged. And there's just a few reasons as to why I believe this is because there's been too much going on between these two outside of this relationship that it makes sense as to why they would stay with each other. So there's been rumors swirling that Ari and Moneybagg Yo were married after she said she would never get married, even though she's been wearing a wedding ring. And I guess because of his, public cheating, we've had girls on our show that says, after the show, Bagg takes him down for free. They ain't even got to pay. I was like, he pay Ari, why he don't pay y'all? But anyway, neither here nor there. But and of course, her fidelity has been under question as well too. She's been linked to people's husbands, rappers out here, just different rappers that he knows that he's worked with. And she's threatening to sue bloggers for, putting out information pertaining to her vagina and where it's been. And, I'm just like, with everything they've been going through, because, he left Megan Thee Stallion and he came right over here to her and he's been here ever since. He has not left. He hasn't left. Is something wrong with the live? They said it's lagging. Jasmine?
No, I'm monitoring.
Okay. All right. Y'all go out and come back in if it's lagging or whatnot. So, and so when he responded to a comment on social media, because he does have like a troll account, a few pages and stuff like that, he had confirmed that Ari was in fact his wife. He did. Somebody had asked him a question. What's that question say, Jasmine? I can't remember. Is that a wedding band? And he said yes. He said yes. So this is his page, by the way, one of his pages. Okay, he has a lot of children, a lot of baby mamas and stuff like that. And apparently these two finally decided to get married. I mean, with all the land that she was buying him and then he was getting her leased cars, at least somebody would protect the assets in the relationship and not allow him to fall in love with one of these groupies. You know what I'm saying? That he done met backstage, or you possibly get, swept off by somebody else's husband. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess the industry decided to get married. Everybody she's been with in the industry, everybody he's been with in the industry, now they are locked as one, and everybody is
walking down the aisle, living in happy bliss. I think this is absolutely nasty. I think it's disgusting. I don't understand why people even get into these public relationships, knowing they have these loose lifestyles, knowing that there's a lot that comes with it, but yet they want to try for whatever reason. And if I was Ari, I wouldn't have tried nothing, because the thing is, it's like all them baby mamas he got, and I know a couple of them because they've hit my show, because he was allegedly sleeping with them while he was with Ari. This was a couple years ago, so maybe things have changed. I don't know, but he was still, paying their bills and buying their houses, and while he was still sleeping with her or whatnot, and he's paying child support. I just wouldn't want to marry any rapper that doesn't have a backup plan outside of a restaurant, because a lot of them tend to go get restaurants as a new way of making money, or they go back to the old way, which is selling dope like Fetty Wap. But if you ain't got no backup plan, and if the rap career slows down, whose money are they going to take? Because they're not taking mine as the wife. And you got all these damn children out here. I got one child. Why do I have to marry your baggage? Money bag. Why? No, we're not doing that. But congratulations to them, I guess. I guess they knew people would laugh at him and laugh at her. And he's the dumb one for marrying her. Mm-hmm. Anyway, moving on. I'm just, not happy. It's just, that room smelled like Lil Baby, Offset. The women that he done came on my show, I don't even know their names. They're groupies. Now, imagine what that room smelled like. Jesus. Moving on. Oh my God, this girl here, Sierra Glam Shop, changes men. I am determined. I am literally I have come to the conclusion that Sierra has changed. Every time she changes a man, she changes her face. Look. So let me pull out. I need a pointer. So this is when she was with Shooter. Okay. And then over here was when she was with BK Brasco. I'm hoping I'm pointing that in the black shirt. Down here it looked like Eric. No, this is Eric Whitehead. Okay. In the middle is what's the husband? I don't forgot. There's been so many of them, Jasmine. What's the one she divorced and now I can't
Zay.
Zay, that's his name?
Yeah, Zay.
Okay. Zay. Like, she has a new face for every single man. Maybe she doesn't want the men to feel like, maybe she wants them to feel like they're getting a new, you know what I'm saying? They're not getting the old one we saw on the last season, because every single one of her relationships have played out on TV and they have all been catastrophic. Every single one of them. Look at them. There's a lot of men, Sierra. You got men out here that can't find you got women out here can't find a man, the first man. She marries anybody that says hello right after she's done with the relationship, or hell, while she was in, because I'm thinking back on Love and Hip Hop and just watching some of the episodes with her. She was cheating just as much as they was cheating and out here scamming and selling dope and doing everything that they could. And so now I'm hearing, that I guess her and Zay, husband number 543, now that they're divorcing after 2 years of a so-called marriage. Here's the audio from Love and Hip Hop. Let's go.
Accountability for nothing. It seems like you can do everything up under the sun and get away with it. I'm saying, like, who the hell you think you is? I was your punching bag for like a year and a half until I finally built up the nuts to even talk back or even say something back.
If going through what I went through last year is called a punching bag, you going through depression, you on depression pills, you having miscarriages back to back, that's a lot. Baby, you ain't strong enough for me. Now we're at a point where it's almost like we hate each other. You don't want to come home unless you want to get some.
No,
I'm not doing.
When she acknowledged, because there was something that triggered me right there. Because I experienced this a lot from, I don't like to put Black women in one box, but there are some Black women who are just like this because I've experienced it. But go back just a little bit when he was like, I felt like I was your punching bag for 2 years. And then she says, well, you just not strong enough for me.
I was your punching bag for like a year and a half until I finally built up the nuts to even like talk back or even say something back.
If going through what I went through last year is called a punching bag, you going through depression, you on depression pills, you having miscarriages back to back, that's a lot. Baby, you ain't strong enough for me.
Oh.
Now we at a point where
I'm not a doctor, but Sierra is given covert narcissist. Like your partner, if you're going through miscarriages, which is really unfortunate, you shouldn't blame your partner for that. Like your partner should be there, like, I'm not saying he wasn't there consoling her, but like you're depressed, you're this, you have all these excuses as if you're going through it, but your partner is not going through it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Black women, let me be general here because this can happen in any race. I just haven't seen it, experienced it in other races, but I'm sure it does happen. But I've seen women that have come in and out of relationships like Sierra and have yet to give themselves time to heal, time to grow, go through therapy. It's like they hop from one relationship to another. Hell, while they even in the relationships, they're entertaining who's gonna be in the next relationship while in the relationship, because we've seen this play out all through her Love and Hip Hop career in history. And I just feel like as women, because I see this happens a lot, and I had a friend who had a husband and she was always depressed. She was always going through something. She didn't work. He worked 2 jobs. He would come home and she would just tear into his ass. Why are you not there for me? You always working. I'm going through this. I'm going through that. You should make more money. And yet she sits at the house and do nothing. Now, I'm not saying that this is Sierra's case, but Sierra does expect these men to fund a lifestyle of hers that's ever changing, just like her face. Sierra, honestly, over the years has given me bipolar, manic, narcissist, lack of self-awareness, because there's no way you could be aware of self and you would put a picture like this of yourself on the internet with your, where's her jawbone? Did she get it shaved down? What happened to it? Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. Where's her jawbone? What happened to the jawbone? It was up there on the face. What happened to the cheekbones? Why does it look like she got an allergic reaction? This is what I look like when I come in contact with hair dye. I'm just saying, I just feel like her story is just, because a lot of, and I see how many people say, his loss, Sierra, is his loss. If you're going through miscarriages and depression, he should be able to take that. Don't nobody want to be around that shit. Don't nobody want to be sitting in misery with you. And for her to say, oh, if you can't take it, then you're not strong enough for me. Don't nobody want to live like that. Women have miscarriages every day. Women go through depression every day. But for you to blame every single partner because these men are very much in rotation with you, they change just as much as your mood does. I'm inclined to think that it's not them that's the problem, it's you. And I honestly felt sorry for that man. I really did. I was like, dang, man, I really feel sorry for that dude. Like, I couldn't even imagine being on TV and they have somebody, threatening you and talking down on you. And all she says, well, the names you called me, he probably called you a name based upon how you were coming at him that day. Because let's not forget, she was with Eric Whitehead, the scammer. Came out here and lied to y'all whenever they had separated and said that somebody had broken into her house when they had went on vacation. Whole time he went and broke into the house and got his shit and got it out. And she reported it allegedly
is what I'm being told, to the insurance company so that she could catch a check on him coming to get his stuff because he had left her. So she had created a PR diversion so that y'all wouldn't pick that up. And she's in my opinion, she seemed to choose like, you know, because at this point she's doing the choosing. She's abandoned the relationship. Good men, they seem to be okay. You know, they seem to be with it. They like her entrepreneur mindset. A lot of men like that. They love to be with women that hustle just like them, that want to get money just like them, but they ain't finna take that attitude. You ain't finna emasculate them and blame them for what you're going through and stuff like that. You have to personally get therapy for yourself. Let your therapist be your punching bag, is all I want to say. You said you feel sorry for any man because you're male identified. Let me ask you something. And that's a man saying that? Hold on, that's a woman? Tania, why do y'all say that? I just want to ask you a question too before we move on. Because I notice y'all say that because in one hand, I don't like light-skinned women. In one man, I'm homophobic. The next man, why you lock R. Kelly up? Why you don't like Jay-Z? Y'all can't seem to make up your mind on who I don't like, who I identify with. Which is it today? Are you triggered? Is this something that I'm saying that's triggering you? Are you one of these females that tend to go in and out of relationships without healing self and want to point the blame at someone else because you lack self-awareness? Everybody can see clearly that Sierra clearly lacks self-awareness. Who she is. What she wants to do, what she wants to be. She's the most unstable Love and Hip Hop cast member I have seen yet. I definitely don't like light-skinned women. Y'all say that when I be calling y'all out on y'all bullshit. But y'all don't say that when I be calling dark-skinned women out on their bullshit. Y'all sit up here and laugh at it. Yeah, Suki, I ain't got no Billy being white like no dog. Like, yeah. Y'all, whenever the rabbit got the gun on y'all is when y'all want to pick and choose now at what I am today. Homophobic, transphobic, light-skinned phobic, colorist, male identified, unmale identified. Why you like R. Kelly? Why don't you like Jay-Z? You're jealous of it. Which is it? Pick a side. I'm just reading the comments. Pick a side just because, listen, I have nothing to do, but I typically see a lot of my beautiful light-skinned sisters allowing themselves to be cum buckets, ran over, extreme baby mamas, and not getting anything in return for it. And then they would pillow talk with a man that typically says, I can't date them loudmouth, dark-skinned, aggressive, but yet he ain't get you no commitment. And then as soon as he done overstretched the belly and you got stretch marks and red marks all over your damn belly and you're tattooed out, it's just all white. Now they want to come over to us because we preserve, because remember, they didn't want us before. We was too loud, too aggressive, but we ain't got no baggage. Y'all let these men pillow talk with y'all, play with y'all. I'm not saying all light-skinned women, but typically this shit happens in the hood. Happens in the hood. I'm talking hood shit right now. I'm seeing this dynamic over and over, and let's not act like it doesn't happen. It has nothing to do with me disliking you because you're a beautiful woman. Set some standards for yourself is all that I'm asking. That's all that I'm asking. Moving on. I'm sorry. But I love light-skinned women. And if I didn't love y'all, I wouldn't be telling y'all how to overcome this stigma that they have created between you and I. And you seem to think that I'm jealous of you. And I'm like, no, baby girl, I'm not jealous of you. I'm seeing how these men play with y'all. But of course, I'm sitting up here dragging Sierra. She happens to be dark-skinned. Hey, Sierra, dark-skinned Jasmine. She dark-skinned.
I consider her to be chocolate, yep.
She's chocolate. But so, where's the energy? Where's the energy? Because dark-skinned women,
Black women can be mean and hateful and extra aggressive in relationships and to their children. Does that mean I don't like dark-skinned women? This typically tends to happen. Am I lying? Am I lying? I literally started this segment and I was trying to be general, but I'm just going to say it typically happens with dark-skinned women who like to emasculate, be aggressive, talk down, blame all their problems on everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, physically abuse their children, bring rotational men around because they don't want to deal with stuff. But I guess I don't like dark-skinned women for saying that. Moving on. I need a fan, Jasmine. I need a fan. After the break, guys, we got Pooh Shiesty, Gucci Mane, Keyshia K. Keyshia K. is what I'm being told was the reason why Gucci Mane went down there, sat down there to identify who stole his jewelry and who put that gun to his head. His wife is the handler, remember? We're going to talk about that. We're going to revisit that because y'all said I was lying when it came to that too. We're definitely going to be discussing who else, Jasmine, is up next. Simon Gubati and Porsha. Who else, Jasmine? We got a few other topics we're going to cover here before we head on over to TashaKLive.com. Who we got? Oh, yeah, Lyrica name one. Who else?
I think.
And we got some Q&As. Okay. So listen, if you got a question on love, life, business, please hit my email unWineWithTashaK@gmail.com and I will read and answer your question. Okay, on live. I'm your untrained, unprofessional, unlicensed therapist. We got more to come right after the break. Y'all hold right there. We got some sponsors we need to brag about, which means boldly raise a glass to after the break. Keyshia K. She done made Gucci snitch. Let's go. I do.
Kim was the best lover I ever had.
No man is going to marry you because they're never going to think that they're better than Cam. They'll you, but they won't marry you just because you made that statement.
And what you don't have is a good nigga because the shit that comes out of your mouth is wild. I can't even believe you're a wife. So how dare you?
A normal, healthy-minded, with great self-esteem 40-year-old woman wouldn't have allowed Cam to play with her the way that him and his boys play with you, like you were a dumb bird who didn't understand money or anything like that. He complimented you in the process to gaslight you, but he let his friends who knew you play with you. Where you going? Where's she going? Why she can't see him on her side, Jasmine? Why she can't see him on her side? Where'd you go?
Girl, let me tell you something. Let me tell you the difference between me and when people are going to step into my platforms. All right?
Okay, all right, cool. I'm listening. All right, y'all are still dragging that beautiful dark-skinned woman right now on TashaKLive.com. That's Cameron's ex-girlfriend, and she thought I didn't have her best interests at heart. And I was just like, girl, like this man just sat and played in your face, told you were a bad investment to over 600,000 people, and you're yelling at me. You didn't yell at him when he told you that, but me as your sister, when I'm trying to tell you that, you think I'm hating. It's like a lot of y'all do. Let's leave the skin tone issue out of it. I will not. I will trigger you until you wake up. That's the only way I get y'all to wake the hell up. Same way y'all out here still mad that athletes are marrying white women because they appear nicer. They're nice because they got a long-term plan with these men to put life insurance on them and take half of their assets. But dark-skinned women can't even be nice for 10 minutes to keep a husband for more than 2 years to get the life insurance policy. No, we got to be angry all the damn time. Where's the damn questions? Hold on for a second. Oh, my God. Bottom line, I love us all. I love us all, okay? All right, hold on for a second. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. All right, so we got a question that a wino just wrote in, and then we're going to move on to our Keyshia K.
and Gucci Mane and that whole story. And y'all, please set aside some time because we got some court docs to go through. Okay, I got to read y'all the story that I broke months ago. Okay, all right. So real quick, just gonna take a little moment for a wino. Good afternoon, Tasha. She says, "What is a single mom to do, child? I'm originally from California, yet moved to Oklahoma a few years ago, with thoughts and intentions of moving to where I could afford better. All right." Wanting to give my son a better life. I will be 40 this year. I'm a very hardworking person. And I do not mind putting blood, sweat, and tears and dedication to get ahead. Prior to me having my son, who is now 9, I would work 2 to 3 jobs at a time. I was always in somebody's uniform and always on somebody's payroll 6 to 7 days a week. I heard that. Paid my rent and my car notes and Wi-Fi and whatnot just for me to never be home and my car always in the parking lot or at the job. That's a long question. Damn. Okay, we're going to get to it. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can get to it. She's just explaining. Y'all got to shorten up these questions too. You know what I'm saying? What if I was drinking? I would be all over the place right now. All right, let me get back to it. When I had my son, I became a single mom when he was 6 weeks. I had my son 2 months shy of turning 30. It has been rough to stay afloat and to make ends meet. After having him, I could no longer work more than one full-time job. I didn't really have a support system with my baby. I do not get child support. Housing list had a years-long waiting list, and I just felt discouraged. I moved to Oklahoma because rent was cheaper. Moving to Oklahoma has given me new trials and tribulations as a single mom. I have to be the protector and the provider at the same time. Okay, I'm in a weird shade of gray money bracket that claims I make too much money to qualify for housing assistance, child care, SNAP, medical insurance, but being a full-time mom working at $20 an hour, I couldn't even afford a flat tire 2 weeks ago. Okay, now she goes on to say the struggles are real. Last week I sent my son to California so I could hustle and get a second and third job for a few months. I got fired the day after my son left. I am confused because I had no write-ups and I had permission to take my son back to California. With spring break, I would have had to pay, for full-time child care. Hold on for a second. I have never been without my son. I feel shame and guilty for sending him home to California. I kind of figured karma bit me in the ass, like, aha, that's what you get for sending your son away. I never chose a man or a career over my kid. I have no social life on weekends. I am doing activities. My son is crying every day saying he wants to come home, and it breaks my heart to hear him wanting me. Instead of getting a second job, now I need to get a first. And I have been so confused on why and how I got fired. So confused on how and why I became a single mom. So confused on for years and years of prayers of trying to do the right thing and asking God for a little bit of a breakthrough. Okay. Little things like free childcare or something. I apologize if this email is long. Hold on, guys. I just heard you give an email and started jotting. I couldn't be at home crying on my couch watching Tasha. I should be at work finding a job. It's just been so much. I've been crying for days. I can't get it together mentally. I am a private person, but I've been hurting so bad. Okay. So she goes on to say, I can't get it together. I'm too embarrassed to tell my family in California I got fired and too ashamed to admit I don't have flight money. I need advice how to shake this depression off. And do you feel like I got punished for sending him away? I know you have sent your little king away and he is now back. But when he did go to Africa, he learned different languages and wasn't addicted to iPads. My sis is a stay-at-home mom. We're both smart, but she has dedicated time for homework and is good with teaching babies. Have a great vacation. Your thoughts and advice. Okay, so listen, before we get back into this celebrity gossip, I'm only going to read one question this hour. So next hour or Monday when we do like this in its totality, you guys email me unWineWithTashaK at gmail.com. It does come to my platform. Thank you so much for being vulnerable to the single mom that wrote in. And you did nothing wrong. You have done everything right. And life be lifing. However, when life, you still have to devise a plan.
Now, you started planning when you uprooted yourself and moved yourself from California to Oklahoma. That's a good thing. But then you got to Oklahoma and you had no support system. So you sent your son back to a familiar environment. He's missing you right now. He's 6 or 7. Yes, he wants his mommy. But now mommy has to take this time that she has while she has someone to help her with her baby. And now you got to go to school. You can do trade school. I highly advise trade school, okay? Because trade school will give you a trade, on-the-job training, and you'll be able to work at the same time while working in the trade. So I don't know what your particular skills are now, but if you can grow in that particular position, or if you can go get maybe a radiology certificate, sonography certificate or license, LPN, all of these are a 1.5-year program. Your son is away from you for less than 2 years. He's back. Whenever you get a stable job, maybe you may be able to move back to California and get a good job as an LPN or as a sonographer or as a radiologist while you're doing it right now, while government is giving funding. Okay. So now you just got to get out of your head. Stop thinking about what you should have, could have done. Am I a bad mother? Am I all of this? And get into action. And start to figure out, what can I get now in 1.5 years so that I can get a decent job and take care of me and my son, so that you don't have to keep going through these low-end jobs, trying to struggle and can't even get and afford things that you need on a day-to-day basis. So if you get some type of certificate or diploma in an LPN or in the medical field, you'll never be without a job. You'll be able to work anywhere you want to work, okay? You'll have health care. You'll have enough money to afford housing. I got a sister right now that's an LPN. She makes $140,000 a year. She works the 3rd shift, but she still makes that money. Now is game plan time. No crying in the car, no crying in the house. Get into action. Go sign your ass up down there at the community college or at the trade school and get it going. Let's go. Okay. All right. We got to go. Moving on, guys. Monday. Jasmine, Monday, can we do a full happy hour, please? Or you want to do it on the 3rd channel?
Yeah. Can we do that one on TKL?
On TKL? Okay, cool. We'll do that. All right, no problem. All right, guys, but that is our happy hour question. Remember, I'm untrained, unlicensed, unprofessional. Now, let's get back to the celebrity gossip. It's Fuckery Friday. We got a lot of stuff we talk about today. Whew, I am just in a funky mood, too, because I like my cycle about to start. Jesus, I'm going to go get a volunteer hysterectomy. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a volunteer partial hysterectomy. I'm tired of going through this. I'm tired. Lyrica, okay? I thought this was a really, just the audacity of the video that she's making about A1. And, I've known her and A1 for quite some time. And when I saw this video come across my screen, I was like, girl, you are not on Love and Hip Hop no more. Why are you out here telling us your family business that have nothing to do with us? And at the same time, I know A1 and I know the type of daddy he is. I seen it in action. And so I don't know if this has anything to do with money or anything, but it's like, Lyrica, you gotta let this go. You really gotta let this shit go. And I know she's gonna call my phone after this damn video is done, but I don't give a damn. I'm finna say it like I want to say it. I'm gonna let y'all watch this video, then I'm gonna fill y'all in on the bullshit that she trying to speak of, that she going around. Let's go, Jasmine.
Put a finger down if you were married or have a baby daddy with somebody and you mind your business, you don't call their phone other than about your child, and you respect y'all's distance other than co-parenting. You don't bother them, you don't cause drama, you just handle your kid and you do a really good job with them. You take them to school, you nourish them, you pay for everything by yourself, you literally get no help for months and months and months at a time. And in a year, you've probably got help like 3 times. You pay for clothes, you pay for shoes, you pay for activities, you pay for food, you pay for everything. And you really just mind your business and do you. And your baby's father cheated on you continuously, and that's the reason that you left and that you got broken up and divorced in the first place. They still don't do anything financially to truly help. And to top it off, they call themselves coming to visit your child, for a few hours and take your child out to eat and tell your child that's only 7 years old, mommy cheated on me first, and that's the reason we're not together, while he leaves to go on a vacation out of the country with his girlfriend. And mommy lives at home with just her son with no man in the house and
I guess this would hit me different if I didn't know them both. But Lyrica, Lyrica, y'all both was cheating. Lyrica, y'all both were cheating. And you know, I asked you about that cheating on my show, behind the scenes. Like, when I interviewed with A1, do you know why I couldn't get a good interview with A1? Do y'all remember that interview? Because he was on the shit. First of all, she was so bent out of shape that he was talking to me. Okay? Because, you know, like, he wouldn't talk to me for a long time because I put out that he was messing with Summer Bunny cockeyed ass, right? But when she had got wind that he was doing an interview with me, coincidentally, the baby hungry. Let me tell how sorry. Lyrica, I seen your accent. I seen your action, and I'm literally looking at my production team, and I'm like, I cannot believe this is happening. She would not let him get off the phone because she said the baby was hungry. She was laying her ass up in the house. He trying to order the baby food. The Uber Eats, he ordered through Postmates. Postmates got lost. The order got canceled. Well, what is he supposed to eat? He's hungry right now. Mind you, an hour and a half done passed, another hour done passed. The baby's still hungry. He on the phone having to get up from the interview and go out and try to get on the phone with the delivery drivers, but she couldn't get her ass up and carry her ass down the street and go to the grocery store. Y'all remember that shit? Y'all remember that shit? I hope you do. He was on the damn phone the entire interview because she was scared at what he was going to tell me because of what I know about these two working together, that she wouldn't even get her lazy ass up to cook for her damn baby. She too busy trying to say, you need to send this baby some food. But you laying up in the house doing nothing. Nothing. But trying to listen in on what he telling Tasha K. The man ain't saying nothing bad about you at all. But I thought that was real dirty footage of her. Why are you waiting on a 3-hour Postmates delivery and you got your baby daddy on the phone with your baby talking about he hungry? But because she know A1 not messy like that, he not gonna get on the internet and make no blog about her. He not gonna do that. She gonna take to the internet when she don't get her damn way. This is shit I'm talking about. And I saw that. I said, I'm sitting there looking at my heart. I said, I'm about to call Lyrica and tell her to cook for the baby. You could have been at the 7-Eleven by now and got some ham, got some bell peppers or something and made the baby a damn tortilla. You could have did something. Why is he hungry right now? Why does he have to order food right now? You laying your tired ass up in the house and you don't work. You don't work. You don't work. Now I know she gonna hit my phone. I already know she gonna be in my DM. That's cool, Lyrica, but I saw that, and you know, I got kids myself, and when my babies say I'm hungry, I get my ass up and I cook. See, it's a lot of them out here that are like that are still bitter that they got cheated on by a man that they helped to build. That shares the same fingernail polish, and the same hairstylist that they share. I would be pissed too. Girl, don't nobody give a damn. Don't nobody care. We didn't care when you was on Love and Hip Hop. We definitely don't give a damn now. We told you about that man. You had a baby by that man. Now you deal with that motherfucking man. That's between you and your baby daddy. Moving on. Don't forget, guys, Simon Gubadia's exclusive, explosive interview. Like I said, if I were y'all, if I was Porsha, I would have sent me a cease and desist. For what y'all about to hear, I would send me a cease and desist. I ain't gonna listen, but I will put Simon on notice. I do want to prepare you, trigger warning, when you hear this interview on TashaKLive.com tonight at 6 p.m. You do have to subscribe to TashaKLive.com, the website, okay? When he starts talking about the bathroom scene, trigger warning. Trigger warning. And you know, I asked about the surgeries. I did everything that she has told y'all, according to him, was a motherfucking lie. Was a goddamn lie. I said, see what happens when you try to get your ex deported, thinking that's all you're gonna do. You're gonna keep him silent. He has had enough. The bathroom scene, y'all gotta hear it. When you hear that bathroom scene, we'll have a debate, because we're gonna have a town hall meeting, a Zoom on TashaKLive.com, and y'all gonna be able to debate. And I guarantee you, this is going to be the talk for a month. Okay? Pooh Shiesty going back to jail. Matter of fact, I think they picked his ass up, or they on the way to pick him up, if I'm not mistaken. Remember I told y'all 3 months ago? Actually it was 4 months ago, because we're in April now. I told y'all back in the beginning of January that I had got a call directly from the robbery that Gucci Mane was robbed by his own artist. Okay, now here's what happened. Let me refresh your memory from what I had got in, is that Pooh Shiesty had got out, and Gucci Mane was in Dallas recording, with, I guess, 1015 or whatever his label's name is. This is all that Keyshia K said he was allowed to do. And so with that being said, he allowed Pooh Shiesty, because Pooh Shiesty is his artist, to come into the studio thinking that they were going to, handle business. Well, he gets in there and they ended up robbing them and forcing Gucci Mane at gunpoint to release Pooh Shiesty from his contract. Now, Pooh Shiesty is already out in a halfway house, out of jail, out of federal prison, because he was in federal prison for a few years, okay? He had went to prison right after he had signed to Gucci Mane. I don't know why all the Gucci Mane artists either go to jail or they go to hell. Let's assume that's where they're going, according to the Bible. It's dark down there. And I saw after they last artist had turned to the other side willingly, because of drugs and alcohol and depression and stuff like that, they put up $1 million in cash saying they were looking for their next artist. Him and Keyshia K, the wife, said that they were looking for their next artist who wanted to sign with them after all these artists had either been to jail or had or willingly went over to the other side to meet God or the devil. They used the insurance money to try to bait, because they put insurance on these artists to try to bait them into signing so they can make money off of somebody else. Now, Pooh Shiesty was locked up for a few years, and according to my sources, Pooh Shiesty had enough, because apparently Gucci, his cousin, was signed to Gucci, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot the cousin name, don't get me the line. And that cousin had died, and Gucci didn't send no money for the funeral. Gucci never put money that he had earned, like that Pooh Shiesty had earned under his label, on Pooh Shiesty's books. He had never helped Pooh Shiesty's family. It is primarily because Keyshia K keeps all the money. Gucci don't keep the money. Keyshia keep that money. So he should be more mad at Keyshia than Gucci. So when he got, and from what I was told, Yo Gotti has started feeding Pooh Shiesty's family, putting money on his books, taking care of him in jail, and said, when you get out, you need to come over here. This is how we treat our artists. Okay? So when he got out, motherfucker wasn't even in the halfway house 2 days and went down there to that studio in Dallas with his ankle monitor on. With the ankle monitor on. And went in there, held him at gunpoint, had took some jewelry, made him sign and release him from the contract. And I told y'all, I said, if y'all see them, if you see Pooh Shiesty working with Yo Gotti's label, which he has been with Glorilla, because they just did songs together 2 months ago, it's going to be obvious that this robbery, that this contract, this forceful contract release took place. Because they're not going to be able to hide it. They're not going to be able to hide it. If you released yourself from Gucci Mane by force and went over there to Yo Gotti, then obviously the information that I'm giving that came to me right after it happened took place. The whole internet said I was lying. Until yesterday, the crackers came out. Let the Justice Department tell them what had happened. Go ahead, Justice Department.
I'm Ryan Rabel, the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims. The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendants' roles in the federal offense. This is as follows. Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least 2 of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense. In this case, came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not. And that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice. I want to thank the FBI Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, the FBI's Memphis Resident Agency and Nashville Field Office, the Memphis Safe Task Force, the Dallas Police Department, the United States Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, Michael Dunavit, and AUSA Greg Wagner, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Texas, my dear friend and colleague Jay Combs, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Tennessee, including my colleague Braden Busek, for their outstanding contributions in this multi-jurisdictional investigation and prosecution. I'd also like to highlight the extraordinary work. None of this happens without the extraordinary work of our AUSAs in this office, and I'm here to say we have the best AUSAs in the entire country.
Did I lie? Jasmine, did we lie? Did we lie?
Not a single lie was told.
And people were on X. My tweet got like 4 to 5 million views. Everybody is dragging me. Everybody. I was just like, hold up. I'm just reporting what I do. Like, they was so mad back in January. And now all I hear is crickets. I told y'all everything that happened, play by play. How I get it. The same way the feds got it. Snitches. Listen, so here's what there was a lot of people, there was multiple people that got robbed, and some of those people that got robbed are not gangsters. They're not gangsters. They're not street boys. They're producers. They're white people. You coming into a white people establishment to do all that. You leaving the halfway house to go down with your ankle monitor on, with no damn mask on, to do what in my establishment? So you think somebody like Tasha K ain't finna get it? And then they know that I am not affiliated with either side, because academics and them, I'm telling you, they got this information and refuse to report on it because they don't want to look like snitches on podcasts. How is that possible? How do you have a podcast, but then you don't consider yourself a snitch? Bitch, I'm telling on everybody, okay? These people can't. I'm sorry. Keep their ass locked up with dirt. Please don't let them out. Throw away the goddamn key. I don't give a damn about any one of them. But they didn't rob. See, Gucci a street dude, okay? Partly. Until I had got this indictment. And it further proves, okay, that I personally feel that the only reason Gucci cooperated, according to this indictment that I have, it says sealed at the top, but it's unsealed. Keyshia probably made him say something. Because normally Keyshia will take to the internet and shut everything down regarding him because she's the handler. Remember, she makes sure he takes his medicine, she takes his phone, she books his studio time. The only thing that man got to do is make music for her and give her the money. She even bathes that man. So I'm sure she's like, baby, you're not a gangster no more. You have to tell. They can't keep doing this. And I said, Gucci ain't gonna come out here and say nothing. And Yo Gotti and them probably think he wasn't gonna say nothing because he didn't want to be named as a snitch. But the receipts here say that is a lie. They're saying that Gucci was in this document, okay? They said that he was the main one identifying who did it and where. It was his artist, okay? And so, hold on for a second. So they already said the names: DeMarcus Glover, Demarion Gibson, Corday Johnson, all of these. And so on January 10, 2026, at approximately 4:50 p.m., all of these guys up here: Rodney, Terrence, Kadarius, Lontrell, Rodney Wright. They kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint. They were kidnapped. I'm sorry, RD, MM, and BP. So they're abbreviating the victims. Okay, so Gucci Man is one of them. Were kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint at a music studio located in Dallas Parkway in Dallas, Texas, approximately 1 p.m. in the afternoon, January 10th, 2026. The victims flew into Dallas, Texas. I was like, he boarded a flight with a damn ankle monitor on and left the halfway house and said, I'll be right back, is what Pooh Shiesty said, okay? Now, they boarded a flight. The victims flew into Dallas, Texas, alongside RD's head of security, okay, for a scheduled business meeting between RD and the suspect, Williams Jr. and Williams Jr. as a hip-hop artist known as Pooh Shiesty, okay, who has been signed to a recording contract for RD's music label. What's Gucci Mane's real name, Jasmine? Can you look that up for me? I don't have time.
I know it's like Roderick. Hold on, give me a second.
Roderick what? Rodarius? Roderick? I forgot. Y'all tell me. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, Roderick Davis. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So, okay, Roderick Davis is music label. And if you read the indictment already, cool, no problem. But a lot of my viewers haven't read it. All right, so we're gonna read it here. Thank you. And so, hold on for a second. They were scheduled to meet because Williams Jr. was upset about the terms of his contract, as I said, and wished to be released from his contractual obligations. Williams Jr. had asked Gucci Mane to come to Dallas on this date so they could meet about business. And at approximately 1:45 p.m., the victims arrived at a scheduled meeting location, a music recording studio located within a larger office building. When the people who robbed them and the victims entered the office building, they realized the recording studio owned by an individual herein, referred to as JN, was closed, okay? While they waited for the studio to open, the five went to a liquor store and purchased liquor in a plastic red Solo cup before renting the studio. They even got him at the, it looks like the recording studio, standing outside with nothing on their face, okay? Now, Williams Jr.'s father, yep, that's them outside in the studio, all of them in black ski masks or whatnot. Now, at approximately 2:53 p.m., they answered the phone and learned that Williams Sr. was attempting to book a recording studio that afternoon for Williams Jr. and Gucci Mane, okay, to record music. At or around 3:15, this person opened their studio for Gucci Mane and the artist, and investigators later collected and reviewed surveillance video captured at another business located at the same office building on the same floor as the recording studio. So you have to understand, these recording studios are in corporate buildings. I've seen them, I've been to them, okay, to meet with these artists, talk to these artists. A lot of these artists that you think that don't associate with me, baby, I be in the studio with them, okay? I be talking to them, all right? But just give me my news and let me get the hell on. That's all I want, okay? They have a PR image to keep. My image, I just want the truth. That's all I want. But these are very high-end buildings. Like, they have multiple security people that you gotta check in the beginning and leave your ID, and you gotta go upstairs. The security guard gotta let you up. There's plenty of security. They're mostly owned by white and Jewish people. And if you think that you, as a Pooh Shiesty, Lou Shiesty, whatever it is your name is gonna come into these white people or Jewish people's establishments and rob them without them cooperating with the feds, they called the feds immediately, okay? And Gucci Mane had that. It's either, listen, you're going to be involved in this, or are you going to snitch? What is it going to be? What is it going to be? So I'm trying to tell you how this goes. So at approximately 3:39 p.m., an employee of the studio arrived to assist with the production. So these people work for the studio. They don't work for these gangster rappers. They don't do that. These are white people, white kids that got recording degrees that help master records. You're not going to come in there and pour no gangster shit on them like they people ain't the police. Now, an employee arrived at the studio later to assist with production. When the employee arrived, Williams Jr. and Williams Sr. were standing at the back door of the office building, engaged in what appeared to be an argument over the phone. Now, approximately 3:43, they watching all this on camera. This camera all around this damn building. Now, at approximately 3:43 p.m., Williams Jr. and Williams Sr., Wright, Johnson, Waters, Rogers, Gibson, everybody that they named in that indictment, entered the east side of the office building. The target suspects walked through the lobby area of the office building before going inside of the studio left. One individual with a dreadlock hairstyle, later identified as Gibson, can be seen on video exiting the office building and shortly thereafter returning with a bag slung over his shoulder, okay? Now, the 9 individuals entered the studio's control room, where inside the victims were watching a football game. CW as positioned in the studio lobby. Wow, these are just all the people that was just in the studio, the robbers and the people that got robbed, the robbies, okay? Remained in the vehicle when they arrived. Depicted below are the photographs of the studio lobby. So it's a very high-end studio. So you don't need to see this. It's just very nice corporate. The victims overheard Williams Jr. talking on his cell phone, potentially with a probation officer. So basically, Williams Jr. is Pooh Shiesty on the phone with his damn probation and parole officer, stating that his caseworker had given him permission to be out for rec time. So basically, how you out for rec time? You're going to rob somebody, okay? Stating that his caseworker had given him permission for what the victims could hear, Williams Jr. was informed that that was not the case and he needed to return immediately. So his parole officer told him, get his ass back to the halfway house now. Your monitor is going off. What are you doing down there? What are you doing down there, okay? Now, Williams Jr. was wearing an ankle monitor, Pooh Shiesty, leading the victims to believe that Williams Jr. was on house arrest, okay? Now, RD told Gucci Mane, Gucci Mane told Pooh Shiesty they could reschedule their studio session, but Pooh Shiesty requested to speak to Gucci Mane privately in the attached recording room. Gucci Mane agreed and entered the recording room with Pooh Shiesty and Pooh Shiesty's dad and another dude. Meanwhile, 2 other people remained in the control room with the 6 other individuals and continued to watch the football game, okay? And offered to share the liquor that they had purchased with the target suspects. And at least 2 accepted, grabbing the red cups and making a drink. All of this is recorded. These white people got cameras everywhere. You ain't finna come in there and do, I don't understand, man. I really don't. Now, inside the control room, Pooh Shiesty purported a contract termination to release paperwork from a bag and told Gucci to sign. So Pooh Shiesty took him in the back room, told Gucci Mane, sign. When Gucci declined, Pooh Shiesty became agitated and the pair started to argue. 2 of the suspects could see inside the recording room and initially believed Gucci Mane and Pooh Shiesty to be discussing business. So they basically just, didn't even think about it. Now, as the argument inside of the recording studio ensued, Pooh Shiesty instructed Wright to get his bag. So basically, get my bag. The guy got the bag, leaving the recording room before returning with the bag. Pooh Shiesty then pulled what appeared to be a black AK-style pistol from the bag and pointed it at Gucci Mane, demanding again that Gucci Mane sign the contractual release paperwork. Are y'all following this? He out on parole, y'all, with an ankle monitor on and done caught a flight. They said he had to get back. He said, I'll be right back. I'm handling some business. Y'all said I can leave anywhere. We almost done. Gucci Mane complied, signing the paperwork. You ain't gotta ask twice. There, take it. Okay, signed the paperwork for Pooh Shiesty and his dad. Stood by Gucci. He was not allowed to leave the recording room while he was held at gunpoint by Pooh Shiesty. Okay? Blank pulled out a cell phone and purported to record Gucci signing the paperwork while being forced to say that he released Pooh Shiesty from their contract. After the release was signed, Pooh Shiesty took Gucci Mane's wedding rings, watch, earrings, and cash. And see, that's what had happened. That's when Keyshia K decided to enter the motherfucking check. You not taking his damn wedding ring. See, I think they would have just left it at the contract, it wouldn't even be here. But you taking Keyshia jewelry now. You taking Keyshia jewelry. Okay? Now, after Gucci signed the contractual release paperwork, Pooh Shiesty provided the paperwork to Williams. Williams Jr. Pooh Shiesty provided the paperwork to his dad and asked him if the paperwork was good. Pooh Shiesty advised that the paperwork needed to be dated. So Pooh Shiesty then forced Gucci to add a date next to the signature. And as Gucci, Pooh Shiesty and Pooh Shiesty daddy and another dude exited the recording room, the remaining subjects, Waters, Rogers, Johnson, Glover, McDaniel, and Gibson, produced handguns and AK-style pistols and began demanding property from the producers that were in the room, the white boys, pretty much. Okay, don't we got pictures of the white boys that they robbed? We ain't got that? Yeah, so that too. It was Keyshia K and the white boys. Yeah. Uh-huh. So, let me see. So they pushed this guy on the couch in the control room, took all of his stuff, went through his pockets, took his chains, his necklace, all of that, threatened to shoot him. But then Pooh Shiesty instructed McDaniel not to, okay, because he don't want to go back to jail. They already done enough, okay? Now, BP, the guy that I guess got robbed, the white boy, further identified an individual he knew as Slime Baby 375, later identified as Johnson, as being involved in the kidnapping and the robbery. And during that control room robberies, Johnson possessed a firearm and held this guy and others at gunpoint. So the white boys that were there to just record their music had ended up getting robbed and choked out and all of that. They told them white folks when they came on set, matter of fact, they called the damn police, okay? Now, Rolexes, Louis Vuitton bags, high dollar watches, Apple AirPods, they took AirPods, all types of shit from these people. Now, hold on real quick. Hold on. I'm trying to see where... Okay. Now, Gucci was pushed back onto the couch into the control room, causing the victims to believe that they were going to be executed. So Gucci was thinking that they were about to be executed. Pooh Shiesty placed the barrel of the firearm to the back of the white boy's head and ordered him and Gucci to leave the control room and the studio through the west entrance of the office building. Gucci then instructed the other two people to escort them to their vehicle as the victims left. And everybody just kind of left the premises or whatnot. And so you can see them leave and everything like that. So let's get down to here. Hold on for a second. They were able to locate him. He was currently serving a 63-month sentence for violation of conspiracy to possess of firearms in furtherance of violent and drug trafficking crimes that he sustained in the Northern District of Georgia. So they were able to identify that he was at that location and he wasn't supposed to be there by his ankle monitoring. Staples the other day, getting liquor from the Staples that was next door. They were able to identify them. Cell phone records, placed them at the location. They were able to identify them. Also doing videos with Glorilla in Memphis after this happened, had placed them there. Let's see, this is how to get caught as a dummy. We need a book. How to get caught as a dummy. Okay. Hold on for a second. Let me see. I'm trying to get to the part where Gucci. Okay. Hold on for a second. A lot of them took Greyhounds. They were staying in the Comfort Inn. They got the Comfort Inn location. Some of the dudes that was with them had took the Greyhound. It says here that they had booked Greyhound tickets. Hold on for a second. They got them at the Greyhound booking tickets, leaving. Ain't no way I'm going to ride for somebody and I'm on a bus, okay? Let's see. Identification of the target suspects through Instagram. They had posted themselves on Instagram with the jewelry that they had took from Gucci Mane and the white boys in there. Keyshia saw her ring and said, "Give me that back." Listen, all them was pictured with money and everything that they had took from that day. They just couldn't wait to flex at all, okay? I think they were banking on the fact that old Gucci just would not snitch, and I'm sure Yo Gotti told me he ain't gonna snitch. That's the worst thing you can have on you, so go on down there and make him sign that paperwork. He ain't gonna do nothing, but he had forgot them white boys, okay? And Keyshia Kayor. Hold on for a second. I'm just looking at all of this, okay? So, target of the suspect's involvement, the following summary of each suspect's involvement and evidence tying to each offense. DeMarcus Glover eyewitness accounts state that Glover produced a handgun. They got everybody. Everybody that was in that studio gave a police statement. Everybody. Every single person. They might as well. I wouldn't even. I wish they would try to take this to trial. But you know what? Listen, don't listen to me. Next time I get out here and say something, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just a loud, gossiping, lying-ass blogger is what they say, right, Jasmine? Ain't that what they be saying?
That's what they be saying.
That's what they be saying. So don't listen to me. Go out there and listen to the rap boys and stuff. They be lying to y'all about all that shit, even though they get their shit from us. Y'all know majority of these blogs, these radio stations, they get 80% of their stuff from us. So next time they say I be lying, just be like, she sure do, and y'all just get up over here and sip y'all wine, okay? All right. Any questions before we go? I got a few minutes on that, Jasmine. I got like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you got some time.
I got 10 minutes because remember, okay, Simon Gubadia is clearing Porsha and Fallon on this audio interview. I mean, the audio is exceptional. You don't hear no background noise or nothing like that. It's pristine. He meant every single word that he said, like everything. And like I said, this bathroom incident that he described with Porsha, I'm embarrassed for her, but I got to give y'all the wine. I almost cut it out the interview. I did. I almost cut it out, but I didn't. Oh, I did want to say this, though. Back to the Pooh Shiesty stuff. There's some talk that they may indict Gotti because, Yo Gotti, because, like, what would entice Pooh Shiesty to do that? And they know that Gotti and Gucci got history. And so I don't think, I think this may turn into a RICO, and Gotti may be at the head of that RICO. I think they're waiting to pull the trigger on that because they got to get these boys in. Because if there's any type of conspiracy that they can link to Gotti, they're going to do it. And all they're going to need is those guys under pressure, in interrogation, threatening them with life in prison. They're going to get to talking about who told them to get down there and why. So don't be surprised if Gotti is named in a RICO indictment in this year, before the end of this year. Simon does talk about him coming back to America in the interview. So, yes, Tasha, when your wine coming out? Almost soon. We got approved by the FDA, so we're good to go. If you ain't on that wine list, I don't see how you're going to get it. You guys have to put your email in because the people that put their email here are going to be the first to purchase. And if it's out before we're able to say, hey, the wine is out, I don't know what to tell y'all. So go to isleawine.com. Put it back up. Go to Islea, okay, ISLEA.com. I'm sorry, Islea Wine. ISLEAwine.com, isleawine.com. Put your email in so that you can get notified when it drops in a couple weeks, okay? So you'll have your bottle shipped right to you. All right, I'm out of this. First come, first serve. First come, first serve, okay? Any questions? Allegedly, Yo Gotti has something to do with Young Dolph, though, but we know that, allegedly. They just can't prove it. I'm telling you, Yo Gotti is going to be the next indictment that they bring down, and it's going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy, okay? Ordinarily, I would defend Tasha K, but I ain't finna get demonetized by the watcher spirits on here. What is you talking about? Okay, sorry guys, okay, hold on for a second. Any questions? I had some at the party. It was so good. Oh yeah. So at my birthday party, we had a case, and so we let the winos taste it, and they loved it. What the biggest review that I got is the flavor profile is absolutely amazing, and two, it tasted and this is exactly what I wanted. It's between a champagne and a wine. That's what I really wanted. Is everybody that's tasted this, they're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I cannot wait for y'all to try your wine, our wine, and we gossip over it. So that's why I'm not taking any more wine endorsements, because I'm waiting on mine. That's the only wine I'm going to endorse ever again. Okay. Let me see. What is the alcohol content? You'll see when you get the bottle. Okay. What does Islea stand for? Isle of Wine. Island of Wine. Okay. My favorite island is Isla Mujeres in Mexico. I told you I love Mexico a lot. That's why I'm in Mexico City now. Don't be surprised if I move here. Okay. And so I love this island. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to get the winos to this island if I can. I've ran into winos at Isla Mujeres. Jasmine, hey Isla, I took you to Isla Mujeres. What you think? What you think, Jasmine?
Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. I loved it.
So it is not a dry wine. Don't even play with me like this. With this profile, you'll be able to drink bottles and bottles and before you know what you drunk, okay? They are working on the pricing right now, okay, based on the economy and all that stuff, taxes. So yeah, they're working on the prices right now. And once it's ready, I could tell you the people that signed up first are going to get it first. And if it sells out there, I won't be making no announcement, but it's sold out. Y'all got to wait till some more come. So yeah. Let me see. I look nice today. Thank you. A little under the weather. My oil of oregano drops always keeps me above so I can work. That's why I haven't been sick. And I mean, I may have like come down with something, but it doesn't take me down to where I need, and I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So this helps to capture any virus, especially if you catch it in time, you start putting the drops and stuff in your water and everything like that, it helps to lessen symptoms, shorten the time span, especially when it comes to respiratory, cold symptoms, things like that. You can do your research on it. Oil of oregano. This is 100% vegan, plant-based, organic, and it is one of the top sellers on the site. Another one of our top sellers on the site, somebody asked me about it on Tasha K Live, on TikTok earlier, is the glutathione. So people could ask me, how do you keep your skin so even? Glutathione. We don't have I don't think Jasmine has, Jasmine do has so the glutathione complex helps to even out the skin from the inside out, because the skin has multiple layers. That's why my skin looks so good, of course. But I do take this to help it, to even it out, to help with hyperpigmentation and things like that. It does a lot for the face. I do pair this with beach water, of course, too. But you can't, you can't get enough of this. Don't forget the sea moss drops are one of our number one sellers as well, too. 10,000 milligrams of sea moss extracted. And so it's liquid form. I love liquid form vitamins because you feel them instantly. Okay. Your body immediately absorbs them under the tongue and you're ready to go. Okay. Also, sugar case is sold out. I'm trying to think what we got. Go over to the site. Everything is good, okay? Every single thing is good. Vitamin D3, always need to keep that. Matter of fact, I'm running low on my bottle. I got to order another one. I use my own discount. And that's another benefit, too. If you become a part of our sales team, where if you're a creator and you want to sell these products, you can. You can use your discount to order these, okay? And so if you're getting 30-40% commission on the products that you sell through shoptkdeals.com, which you could become a part of the sales team or an affiliate on the website, you can go and sign up and then instantly integrate these products in. The products that I actually take are my model products that I use. And so I'm almost out of the D3 right now. So I take the D3 twice a week. It's 10,000 IUs. You can ask any patient that's in chemotherapy right now. They're probably one of their main vitamins that they got to take is vitamin D3, and they have to take a lot of it. I know a woman right now that's going through chemotherapy, breast cancer, and she takes about 50,000 IUs of vitamin D a week, because you need it in order for your body to help you to fight against, things that's going on in your body that ain't supposed to be there, okay? So, you got the mushroom extract gummies, okay. I love it. Y'all use y'all coupon codes TK10 to get 10% off your first order. I love you guys. Please be on standby for the interview to drop on, it's gonna release in 30 minutes on TashaKLive.com. Simon is dragging Porsha, okay? This is an epic interview, better than any Bilal interview that I've ever done. Brace yourselves for the information that's going to come out during this interview. And I thank you guys for being winos. I love you so much. Happy Curry Friday. We will be live next week during the day as well, too, because I'm on a 2-week vacation. And then when I return, who knows? Maybe we'll stay live during the day and only go live at night for Fuckery Friday. We'll see. We'll talk about it, okay? I love you guys. I'll see you on TashaKLive.com, TashaKLive.com, TashaKLive.com. Go to the website so you can subscribe and see and hear this interview when it releases in 30 minutes, okay? Simon Guobadia is imploding on Porsha's ass, okay? He has had enough. I love you guys. Happy Easter, by the way, too. Now I gotta go. I got a bomb-ass Easter picture I'm gonna post on Easter, too. I went to a museum here in Mexico City. I loved it. I said, Shaq, you got the perfect pictures. So I'm going to release it on Easter, on Sunday morning, okay? I love you guys. Now I got to go. Bye.
That is the number one reason Americans file for bankruptcy, and soon they're going to be reporting on your credit. And usually the medical debt is not your fault. If medical bills are overwhelming you, bankruptcy can stop the collection calls and get rid of the medical debt and allow you to focus on healing instead of worrying about being sued over medical debt. I'm Chad Van Horn, and if you're buried in medical debt, give me a call today and let's find a way out.
We don't get enough liquid D3. We don't get enough vitamin D. And so I personally have to supplement this particular vitamin D that I travel with all the time, and I make sure that I never run out of, is 10,000 IUs, gluten-free, vegetarian, as a vitamin E and vitamin C base. Okay, and so it's very highly absorbable. There are some fantastic reviews on shoptkdeals.com of women who claim that they couldn't even lift their arms. And by taking vitamin D3, which helps your body to absorb calcium, and the calcium feeds the bones, they can now raise their arms, they're less pain and things like that.
You want another shoe?
I do.
Kim is the best lover I ever had.
No man is going to marry you because they're never going to think that they're better than Cam. They'll f you, but they won't marry you just because you made that statement.
And what you don't have is a good nigga, because the shit that comes out of your mouth is wild. I can't even believe you're a wife. So how dare you?
A normal, healthy-minded, with great self-esteem 40-year-old woman wouldn't have allowed Cam to play with her the way that him and his boys play with you, like you were a dumb bird who didn't understand money or anything like that. He complimented you in the process to gaslight you, but he let his friends who knew you play with you. Where you going? Where's she going? Why she can't see him on her side, Jasmine? Why she can't see him on her side? Where'd you go?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you the difference between me and when people are going to step into my platforms. All right?
Okay, all right, cool. I'm listening. After months of planning and negotiating, I am excited to announce that shoptkdeals.com is now extended to you. If you are a creator like myself, or maybe you're just a stay-at-home mom, or maybe you're just someone that just wants to make passive income as well as main income, shoptkdeals.com now offers that invitation to you. So which means you can become an affiliate partner and make anywhere from 30 to 40% on each sale that you make on shoptkdeals.com. Okay? And so listen, I'm excited to work with you guys. I'm excited to train you guys. Not only will I be training you, we'll be hosting webinars, sales calls, and all that to make sure that we're all successful and we keep all of these brands happy. So I want you guys to stop what you're doing now. Go on over to the website, shoptkdeals.com, hit join my sales team, and I will see you guys on our sales call, okay?